Welcome to another Fourth Down Fiasco exclusive interview. I'm Jordan Pryor, and with me is my running mate, Danny Weber. For y'all who keep up with us, we've been diving headfirst into the world of the European League of Football, and with us today is a man heading to MVP discussions, the all-time ELF leader in passing touchdowns, and the only player to eclipse 10,000 passing yards in a career, Magic Zach Edwards. How are you, my friend?
What's going on, fellas? I appreciate the intro. Happy to be here, man. Happy to chop it up with you guys.
No, we're glad to have you on. It's been a joy to watch you this season, man. It's been crazy.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, Zach, kind of just diving into things, right off the grip, kind of tell us a little bit about your personal ELF journey. It's been kind of cool to see everyone else's, but, take us through high school, college, your time in Barcelona and how you ended up with Paris as well.
Yeah, man, for sure. I'm a born and raised Minnesota kid. Grew up in the Twin Cities area, St. Paul, Minnesota. Up north kid through and through. I went to local high school out there in West St. Paul. I played basketball, football, and I ran track. I didn't really run track. I jumped track. I was just there just to do something, to be honest with you. But high jumped and track. Had a pretty good high school experience. I actually broke my collarbone my junior year of high school in our second game of the season. So unfortunately, I really only played one full year of varsity football, but still had a great time. Obviously Friday Night Lights, some of the best football memories of my life. So that was great, and did enough to get some attention of some local schools nearby. Ended up settling with College of St. Scholastica up in Duluth. For those that don't know, it's about 2.5 hours north of the Twin Cities area, up on Lake Superior, and was lucky enough. Had a great time up there. Had some amazing coaches that I was able to play under, and played three full seasons up there, and had a lot of success. Broke a lot of records up there, and was able to kind of find my groove, so to speak, in the game of football. Developed into my body a little bit more. Hit the weights. Really started to understand how I play. The game of football in general, and felt like I took a lot of big strides up there, and was able to have some fun, have some success, and in turn, I've always, since I was a little kid, wanted to play professional football, and had some opportunities to, do some pro day training at the end of my senior year, do a couple tryouts and whatnot. Unfortunately, I was a COVID graduate, so I graduated in 2020.
Same.
Yeah, tough year for anybody trying to get out, especially us small school guys. But everything happens for a reason, and had some CFL love, but with the border shut down and everything like that, wasn't able to do any of those tryouts or anything like that. So ended up just moving home. I actually went home for spring break my senior year of college, and never ended up going back to college. Just graduated online at home back in the Twin Cities, and I was kind of just down there just trying to figure out, what the next step was, whether that was playing football or going to get a job or really whatever. And I knew I always wanted to continue my football journey. And luckily enough, I had a coach my junior year, I believe, of college. He was like, wouldn't hurt, just make a Europlayers account. And I made one my junior year, and honestly completely forgot about it. Totally forgot I had even made that account, and did my senior season, played it, whatever, did the pro day stuff, nothing was happening. And sure enough, I think it was like one random day in the summer of 2020, wasn't working, we're all just at home. And I get a call from my head coach, and he says there's a team in Spain that was looking, were interested in me, wanted to set up a Zoom call. And I was like, yeah, why not? What's the worst that could happen from it? And so I hopped on a Zoom call with those guys. Went well, and they asked me to come over and join the Los Puteled Pioneers. They're Spanish series. It was a Series B team in the Spanish league. So I ended up going out there, man. I was just like, whatever, I want to play football. Nothing's really going on at home. So took a kind of a leap of faith. Had never been over to Europe before. really hadn't even traveled that much in my life prior to, and get back home, everybody's like, "You're doing what? Like, you're going to play football in Spain? Like, the fuck? Like, I'm
Probably like
yeah,
it's what kind of football it is. Like, they're probably thinking of soccer.
They're like, they play football over there. Like, a lot of people still don't even know. Obviously with the ELF now, it's gaining a ton of popularity, but this was before the ELF had even started. So everybody was still really had no idea. And but I knew I loved football, man. I knew I loved exploring. Wanted a new experience, and I was like, what better way to see the world than playing football? So headed out there and got there, I think, November of 2020, and started playing with those guys. And had a good season. We went undefeated. I ended up winning the Serie B championship. It was a good season. Met a lot of great guys. Actually, a teammate of mine was Adria Botea. He's now the tight end for the Wroclaw Panthers. He was with me here and in Paris last season. We actually played together on that team. He was that's where he grew up and played his club football when he was younger.
Nice.
But that kind of brought me into the 2021 ELF season. Our general manager and head coach of the Los Putellas Pioneers, he was actually the one that became the general manager of the Barcelona Dragons. So he was kind of just like, hey, man, like, we got this opportunity. It's on a much bigger scale. He obviously had liked what I'd been doing with the team in Los Putellas. So he's like, would you want to be the quarterback for the first ELF season? And, going over there, my first, initial thought was, let's get some film. Once COVID clears up, maybe we can get back over stateside, maybe go play in Canada again, kind of see how it shakes out. So it was another step up, bigger stage, better competition. So I was happy to jump at it, really. It was kind of a common sense decision, and started up that year. And 2021, man, yeah, it was a wild time in the ELF. Inaugural season, we were still all fighting COVID, so we were getting tested 3 times a week. It was crazy. You never knew who was going to be active that week, because Friday comes, somebody might pop on a COVID test. It was a wild time, but it was really cool to see just my short time being there so far, see the game of American football grow so much in Europe, and playing guys from Frankfurt and going to Hamburg and playing those teams was really cool and a great experience. And I really fell in love with it, man. It was awesome. We're flying to Berlin, spending the night in Berlin, playing those guys, and really unbeatable opportunity and experience. So I fell in love with it off the rip. Obviously, we didn't have a great first season there in Barcelona. We were still working out some kinks and whatnot, but still was able to have enough success where they wanted to bring me back. So that was good. But so I pretty much would go home in the off season, and I actually worked at Dick's Sporting Goods. That off season, I was literally just
That's crazy.
Working in the shoe department, just helping out sell shoes, stocking shelves, really just training and working at Dick's Sporting Goods. That's really all I did that whole off season. And I did a couple USFL, XFL, tryouts and stuff like that. Was trying to get into the game over there, but nothing ended up panning out. And Barcelona still was offering me a chance to come back, so I went back. And that second year Barcelona was really kind of where it all took off. We found some success as a team. We had a lot of guys come back from the previous year. We added guys like Kyle Sweet, Coach Weidinger, the offensive coordinator now at Ryan. He was our head coach that year, and really brought some juice into that organization. And it was really cool. We were all playing for each other. We came into that season as underdogs after a pretty tough first season. So nobody was really expecting much of us. So we just went out there, just played our game, balled out, had fun, and it was a beautiful thing to see us. We got off to a hot start and ended up making the playoffs. Unfortunately, lost to Vienna, but they were a hell of a team. They obviously won the championship that year, so it created some amazing memories with those guys out there, and I actually just saw a bunch of them because we just played Madrid, and there's a bunch of those Barcelona guys that are now playing for Madrid. So it was really fun to go back and catch up with all those guys this past weekend and see some familiar faces and be back in Spain. But yeah, man, that's kind of how we got through Barcelona, and now I'm up here in Paris, man, just living, and it was cool, man. I came to Paris, obviously expansion franchise. You know, they France has always had a ton of great talent here. So I played with a couple great guys, Benji Plou, Edwin, who's our D tackle or our nose right now. The French guys, you know, talent across the league. So it was a great opportunity.
They got athletes. They got athletes, bro.
Everywhere, man. It was so cool. I mean, you look at, you know, Anthony Mahangu when we played him year one. He was in Frankfurt with those guys. He was torching the league. You know, guys from all over. You know, Mamadou Sy, he was over in Frankfurt. Sheku was over in Frankfurt. Kevin Wamba was in Frankfurt the past 3 years. You know, like Maceo Beard, he was in Helvetic last year. You know, so like all these guys coming back, it was kind of a no-brainer for me to come over here to Paris and talk with the ownership group and Coach Mattioli. Just seemed like a really good fit, and it's what made the move over to Paris. Nice. And now we're here. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So you kind of talked about why you left Barcelona, but how does the ELF like free agency work? Like, what's that process? Is it just kind of after the year you're just kind of done, or what goes on?
Yeah. So for the most part, pretty much every ELF contract is just like a 1-year deal. For the most part, you've seen a couple guys have gone 2 years. I think Quofi over at Ryan just signed like the first multi-year with the 3-year deal. But for the most part, you know, it's a one and done kind of ordeal. You know, there's a lot of uncertainty with the whole thing. You know, the guys might want to move on. You don't really know where guys are. So for the most part, it's just year to year. And then once the season's over, there's like a little bit of a dead zone where you can't really talk to anybody. But then the free agency kind of opens up. I want to say it's like the 1st of November or something like that. And then teams can start reaching out, and you can start talking to different teams and whatnot. And you kind of just, you know, take meetings with, you know, different teams. You know, I met with a few different teams, few different ownership groups and head coaches. And, you know, it was kind of a cool process, to be honest. It was like the first time I had really ever been like heavily recruited into in my football life. You know, coming out of high school, you know, it was kind of just wherever I could get my foot in. Mm-hmm. And then coming out here, Barcelona kind of just happened, and then Barcelona free agency was kind of just like, oh yeah, I kind of have some options now. So it was kind of a cool experience, I will say. But no, it was good. I met a lot of great guys in the process from different organizations, and yeah, you kind of just go from there, and you find one you like, and you really dive into it and sign the contract.
Yeah. What teams were after you? What were your, like, did you have a top like 3 teams that you were looking at, or
I knew you were going to ask that, man. I knew it was coming. I don't know if I could say it. I don't know what ELF guidelines there are.
That's fair. That's fair.
Teams. I don't want to get myself in trouble. No,
that's fair. That's fair. We don't want that.
There's probably like 3 or 4 teams that I was considering, but Paris was just felt like home, man. I mean, just talking to that ownership group, and me and Coach Mattioli kind of hit it off from the jump. And, you know, I played with Remy Bertolin in Barcelona year 1, and he was a really close friend of mine there. And it kind of just all really made sense, you know, so.
Gotcha. Yeah. So more about the football, like, outcome side. So what would you attribute Paris's success to this season compared to last season? You guys won 6-6 last year. You guys are already 6-1 this year.
Yeah.
What changed?
You know, I think one thing that a lot of people, you know, kind of undervalue is just like the team bonding aspect of the game of football. You know, there's so much to be said about, guys coming together and really forming like a culture and a brotherhood with people. Like when you bring in just 60, 70 guys that have never really, a couple of these guys know each other, have played with each other on other teams, but when you bring like 60 individuals together on a team for the first time on a brand new franchise, you don't really know exactly how things are operating in terms of, there's so many operational things. Where are we practicing? What's the situation going to be like? Where am I going to be living? All these kind of minuscule things add up. And I think it's tough for year one franchises, man. It's a tough thing to really battle through. And I think just the comfortability of like growing over the course of last season. I think we were 2-6 at one point. We ended up finishing the year 6-6. Throughout the course of the year, you could just really feel the growth of us coming together, us becoming closer with each other, the coaching staff. And, we all kind of felt, like, all right, we have something here, but we didn't really feel accomplished with what we did last year, and I think the way we finished last season, it gave myself, and I know definitely a lot of other guys, like the feeling like, all right, like we're going to come back, we're going to be ready to roll next year. We're hungry to go prove like what we can really do. And, I think a lot of that too comes from, we have same head coach, a lot of the same staff that we did last year. So there's a lot of that familiarity, a lot of the same faces in the building. And then on top of that, you bring in, guys like Maceo and Anthony and Kevin Wamba, and you bring in those kind of guys too, and your team just takes a leap. So I think those are some of the biggest things that have changed for us.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So you do have a pretty tough stretch of games up ahead, actually. So kind of going off of that team culture aspect, what is everyone's mindset? Because I know y'all have Ryan, and there was someone else on the schedule that I was like, ooh, that's going to be another tough one. I think y'all play Madrid a second time, right? Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're in the gauntlet of it right now, man. We just played Berlin, Madrid, Rhine this weekend, and then we go back to Berlin next weekend. We got Cologne and then Madrid again. So it's the heart of the season, man. This is where, it's make or break time. So I think we're all really excited about it, dude. I think, after losing to Rhine, it was a heartbreaker, man. It really was. We felt like we had enough to win that ball game, and a couple things didn't go our way. We didn't capitalize a couple times when we should have, and kind of let that thing slip through our fingers. So we were pretty, I don't want to say upset, because we got to get better from the mistakes we made, but we were chomping at the bit. I think we've all had this one circled on our calendar since we lost that one. So we're all excited about this game this weekend. Obviously, it's a big Western Conference. We're in the Western Conference, right?
Yeah.
We're a big Western Conference matchup. It's big for that. In terms of winning the division and whatnot. So we're excited about this one. And then Berlin's a great team too, man. We obviously got up early on those guys, but they came back swinging. They almost came back and got us, and that's not a team to take lightly either. Kyle Kitchens got those boys flying around, so we'll definitely have a tough one on the road at their place. And then Cologne too, man. Cologne's playing great football right now. Isaiah Weed's got he's making plays. Those boys aren't anything to take lightly either. So, and then of course Madrid comes to town, so it's like, we've got a good stretch here. It's no joke over here in this Western Conference, man.
It's brutal.
There's no cupcakes on this side. You got to bring your A game every weekend. So, but we love it, man. We embrace it. It's just going to prepare us better for when playoffs comes around, and we got a tough game either on the road or at home. We'd have been there and we've done that before. So we're taking it on. We're all excited about it.
I like that. Yeah. Once playoff hits, every team that makes it is going to be good, so it doesn't really matter once you're at that point. Do you want to go ahead and call your shot for this weekend against Ryan, or? Or
Ooh.
how are you feeling right now?
Here's
brother?
the thing. I got a ton of respect for Ryan. Obviously, they're the defending champions. Those guys have been playing great football. Glenn is, running through this thing right now. He's taking off. He's scoring way too many touchdowns. So,
Seriously.
those boys are good, man. They're going to come ready to play. That place is going to be jumping. They've got a great fan base. Obviously with the magnitude of this matchup, it's going to be loud in there, but it's going to be fun, man. I know our team's excited to be in that environment and play those guys, and I'll never, ever, ever say that we're going to lose a football game. So we're going to go in there and win, and we're going to take care of business. I'm not going to put any score predictions out there, but, if we get the win, that's all that matters. And
Dub's a
I
dub.
think we got enough to do it, man. Dub's a dub.
Battle for first place. Battle
Yes,
for
sir.
first in the Western.
So you had mentioned the environment in Ryan and how good. I feel like a lot of the German teams just have such good fan bases,
Yeah.
But I do want to take a moment. How much of an impact do you think Paris's fan base has been? I don't know a ton about what y'all's fan base is like, but have they really kind of like kept y'all juice this season or?
Oh yeah, man. I gotta give a shout out to, they call themselves the Red Company, man. They're our day one fans. They come out and support day, night, rain, shine. They're out there, man. They're supporting us. They were in Madrid last week, making a lot of noise. They're awesome, man. We couldn't do it without those guys. They're a big part of our team, and we're all very thankful to have them on our side. Those guys are bringing the juice, banging on the drums. They're having a good time up there, and we need them everywhere we go. So we really appreciate them, and they make a huge difference for us. Especially I think we played 5 home games in a row. To start the season, we went away to Hamburg, then had 5 home games, and now that the Olympics are starting, we're kind of taking this show on the road. But those guys, 5 weeks in a row, showed up, brought the juice, brought the energy, and it's not an easy thing to do. It's very rare that you get 5 home games back to back to back to back.
That's crazy.
Those guys showed up for us, man. So big shout out to the Red Company.
Nice. And kind of speaking about the fans, and I guess, with you just being in France as a whole, I'm sorry I have to ask this one. This one wasn't written out, but,
Maybe.
I've heard that the French can be kind of rude. Are they actually as bad as people say, or are they cool?
Nah, man, it's
cool?
not that bad at all.
Okay.
It really isn't. Everybody here is, they've accepted me with open arms, and they've been all really cool to me and helped me out in a ton of ways, whether it's helping me order some food or whatever, talking to a Deliveroo driver, whatever I got to do. These guys have been brothers to me, ever since I got off the plane here. So,
Cool.
No, it's definitely overhyped in terms of them being rude. But trust me, I get that question all the time. Especially at home, they're like, aren't the French people really rude to you because you're American? And no, they're not at all. I've never had an instance where I'm like, damn, that guy was just mean to me for no reason. So,
okay. I was curious because I've heard it in America, and I've also, every time that I visit Europe too, just having conversations with people, feel like it comes up. So just wanted to know, but it's overhyped. Got it.
Yeah, it's a little overhyped for sure.
You might have made yourself a new fan by answering that correctly.
There's a specific set of jerseys that y'all have that actually remind me of my high school's jerseys. It's the ones they're all navy with the red shoulders.
Oh yeah.
And, ever since y'all dropped those, I was like, damn, I want to be a Paris fan, but I don't want to be a Paris fan.
Come on, man. Come on over, man. It's the place to be.
Doing better than Barcelona, right?
Who's your ELF team? You got an ELF team that you're a fan of?
Yeah, I'm a Barcelona fan. That's why Danny asked you the questions about Barcelona, because I was going to be in my field if I asked. So
okay. Hey man, I love my time in Barcelona. It was a great time. I really did love it out there. Living in Spain was a fantastic time, and it honestly sucks to see the kind of the whirlwind of stuff that's going on over there. I hate to see it. I still know a decent amount of guys over there that are in the organization, and I want to see those guys be successful too. So I feel you, man. I hope they figure this out and get through it. And I'm looking forward to. I know they got a bunch of new guys coming in this week. So Who knows? Maybe they shock the world and take down the Surge this weekend.
I hope so. I hope so. Fingers crossed.
That'd just be cataclysmic. That'd be crazy.
Be absolutely nuts.
Yeah. I'm fine with my team. Sorry, Jordan. That's just your team.
Not all of us can be Vienna boys like you.
My bad. My bad. I lived in Vienna for a little bit. That's my only reasoning.
Yeah, he has a legitimate reason. So
that's a legit reason. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. But so you mentioned CFL tryouts a little bit, UFL, XFL. Are you hoping to play well enough in the ELF to draw attention to come back to the States? Or are you just happy and wanting to ride out the ELF long term?
Yeah, man. Earlier in my ELF, journey, I really wanted to. It's something now that I would definitely accept with open arms. If I ever got contacted or somebody reached out, it'd definitely be something I would look into for sure. As of right now, I'm not really pursuing it, so to speak. If God willing, it happens, I would definitely take that opportunity and see what it's worth for sure. But for the time being, I'm kind of just focused on doing everything I can to help the Paris Musketeers be successful and enjoy really this experience out here while I can. And whenever that journey comes to an end, we'll kind of see where I lie. But for now, just living in the moment, man. Just trying to enjoy this. It goes quick. I can't believe I'm already in my fourth season over here. It's crazy. But yeah, man, we'll see. If it happens, it happens. But if not, just embracing this moment right here.
That's fair. Let it ride. So you have a good connection with your head coach and stuff like that. How much say do you have in signing offensive weapons? Do they come to you first and be like, hey, we're looking at this guy, or what goes on?
Not really, to be honest. Those kind of decisions are a little above my pay grade. Those guys are making those decisions based on what they feel the team needs between the ownership group and the coaching staff. They might ask me if I've previously played with somebody, what I think about them, or what my experiences with that person are, if whether or not I know them, or if I've heard anything, if they've played around somewhere. They might ask me kind of stuff like that. But for the most part, no. That's kind of an upper level management decision. I got all the trust in the world in those guys, and they've brought in some amazing weapons for me. So they've definitely done a great job, and I'm loving that.
Nice. Well, it feels like you have some sort of say just because you've put up so many, crazy stats over the years. What exactly does it mean to you to be the first quarterback in the ELF with over 10,000 career passing yards? Also, I believe you also have you're the only one with 100, or Danny, fact check, because you're the stat guy.
Jadrian has over 100. They both passed it on the same weekend, but he was technically first because their game was first.
I beat him by 2 hours.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. But what does that mean to you, I guess, going to the passing yard perspective? You are the guy in that category right now.
Man, it's honestly, to be honest with you, it's pretty special. It's cool to, kind of leave my mark, on the ELF, first one to do it. I'll forever be the first one to do it. Nobody can take that away from me. And, I hope, obviously records are meant to be broken. Hopefully the ELF, continues to flourish and somebody takes that down one day. But, to be, to be the first one to do it and to do it here in Paris, with all these great guys and through the journey, of all the guys I've thrown to, and it's been an awesome journey, and it's cool, man. It's kind of cool to kind of reflect on, 10,000 yards, of all the people you've thrown to, of all the games I've played in. It's a cool thing to look back and see, and I'm happy it happened, and got to keep climbing it, I guess. See what's next.
Fair enough. So, along with those accolades too, you are in a very coveted position of being one of the A imports. And we talk about it on the show all the time. We understand why there's only 4, but we do wish that they would expand it a little bit. I'm not going to go on that side tangent, but are there any perks that you do get from being an A import on an ELF team? Is there any type of like stipend, housing, gear, etc., in order to be able to help out A imports come across the pond?
I think a lot of it probably differs organization to organization. Mm-hmm. So I can't speak, on, exactly everybody's situation because they're probably all really different in terms of, what an A import might get in Swarco or, Frankfurt. I'm sure that we all kind of have different things because, different teams have different sponsors, different teams have different investors where, I think the guys in Frankfurt or something get like little moped scooters or something like that. And I don't know. There's like little things like that like every team, or like if a team has a deal with a restaurant, they might get like free meal every week at a steakhouse or something like that. It's kind of varies in terms of that. I would say like the most ones that are like common are probably, you get obviously your travel paid for to and from. You typically get like your cell phone paid for when you're over here, anything like that. Mm-hmm. In terms of team gear, it's pretty much the same for anybody that's on the team. You don't really get anything special in that regard. I'm trying to think of what else.
Do you guys have any special perks through any of your sponsors? Like you mentioned Frankfurt and the mopeds, but is there any unique one for Paris specifically?
We don't have any mopeds, unfortunately, but honestly, probably a good thing. We do not need all of us out here driving around on mopeds. That would be a problem. That would be a problem. You do not need all of us driving around mopeds in the city of Paris. People are already driving crazy out here. Yeah. We don't need anything like that. We stick to the trains, man. Stay safe on the trains. I'm trying to think, man. I don't really think there's anything like super specific that we have. We have a cool situation here. We're living in this place right now. It's kind of like a little like village type thing. There's like a bunch of different houses and there's probably like 20 of us that are down here between E imports, A imports, French guys that are from outside of Paris. So we have a pretty cool like little nook neighborhood that we all live in together. That's cool. That's pretty cool. And we get a couple of discounts at some restaurants, but nothing.
No free steaks.
Nah, no free steaks. Not yet.
One day
it might be coming. Hopefully.
Also, the black visor, has that always been a Magic Zach thing?
Dude, so what's funny is, so year one, this is how old I am when it comes to ELF, right? So year one in ELF, the Barcelona Dragons were a Zenith helmet team. I don't know if you remember this, but
we just started covering the elf.
Has these Rydell Speed Flexes like what we're wearing now, and every team has them. But year one, our general manager did like a deal with Zenith, and he got a bunch of Zenith helmets for free. And fun fact, like if you ever need a trivia question, so we would do yellow face masks and we would also do red face masks. So you could like switch out the cage on the Barcelona helmet. So, but the thing was with the cages was you couldn't wear a tinted visor on a Zenith helmet because it didn't have the quick release face mask. So like the reason like in high school and college, like they don't let you wear tinted visors, even the NFL, they don't let you wear tinted visors is because like if you like they can't see your eyes. Like if you get like knocked out or concussed or something like that, they need to be able to see your eyes. So, but if you have like the speed release like face mask, you could just like pop and just like pull it off. But Zenith, you'd have to like get a screwdriver and like, screw it off.
Gotcha.
So the ELF was like, you can't wear tinted visors if you're wearing a Zenith helmet. So I my first year I wore like there's like the what's it called? It's like the Prism Oakley visor. It's like they got that like pink shade to it. You've probably seen a lot of the NFL guys wear it because they want a little tint. But so I wore that one year one, and then I literally put in my contract year two, I need a Rydell helmet. That was like one of my things. I was like, yo, I'm down to come back. Cool, everything's cool, but I need a ride-out helmet in my car.
That's why you went off year 2.
Yeah.
Got
I
it.
need one. I need one.
The visor.
So I was like super excited because they're like, all right, yeah, sure. If you want to ride out, like we'll give you a ride out. And so I got a ride out, and yeah, threw the black on there, dude. And I don't know, just something felt different, felt right.
It's fair. So is that in your Paris contract as well? Like only Rydell helmet?
No. They only got they got a Rydell deal or something like that. So we've had Rydell from the jump, but I don't know if it's still a rule or not. I think it might have just been like a year one, like everything's kind of crazy, like they just like threw this rule out there. But yeah, so I actually last year for like the first like 3 games, I wore like a mirrored visor, like it was like a silver like mirrored one, but it just. I don't know. We got off to a tough start, and I just was like, "Nah, this isn't it. I need to go back to the all black."
Got to go
back to all black, and it's just been part of me, I guess.
It's fair. Hey, so working out this year, 6-1. But so about the ELF as a whole, what is a couple things or one thing that the ELF can do to help grow the league? I know it's only year 4, and they are on an upward trend every year. But in your opinion, what's something they could do?
I think there's a couple things. I think in terms of just like organizationally, like I feel like, the stuff that's happened with Barcelona and like, the Leipzig Kings falling out, and like you see like kind of some tribulations in terms of like certain organizations suffering, and then you got some organizations that are super successful and no issues at all. Like I think bringing more like continuity to it, where like it's a little bit more, I don't want to say even, but like a little bit more like where every team and like organization is in like a similar situation. Because I feel like there's a big difference between like you go play for the Barcelona Dragons and you have to go deal with all this nonsense, and like the team doesn't even know if they're going to keep going and all this stuff, and then like a team like that has to compete with the Rhine Fire that brings in 10 to 12,000 fans every game. They've got 4 different uniforms. They're well managed. The organization is very clean. Obviously I don't know the ins and outs of every organization, but just from, being a player, and I'm sure you guys can notice it too, like a team like Barcelona, like if they have to go play Rhine, like I think we can all sit here and, we know what the outcome of that game is going to be.
Yeah.
And I think for this league to continue to, flourish and get bigger and get better, like there has to be more competitiveness league wide. You hate to see teams like, nothing against the Prague Lions, I'm sure they're doing their thing and they're doing the best, but like they have not won an ELF game yet. And then, they have to go play the Vienna Vikings, who have lost 3 ELF games in their entire, time being here. It's like those games, like you could look at the schedule this weekend and, that's going to be a win for the Vienna Vikings.
Yeah.
So I think getting all the teams kind of up to speed, or at least up to a closer speed where, there's not that big of a fall off from 1 to 17, and I don't have all the answers. I don't know exactly how they're going to do all that. But I know, like, just from a player's perspective, like, nobody wants that kind of league. You don't want 1 to 17 to just be this huge fall off. You want 17 to be able to, go into 1 and, give them a shot, give them a run for their money. And I think that just helps the league all around. It's good competitive football every single weekend. I think that'll just help the whole league continue to grow. I really do.
I agree.
One of the rules we talked about is the bottom 5 teams get an extra A import on offense and defense. Do you think that would help level the playing field?
The what teams? Sorry.
Bottom 5. Like the bottom 5 teams the year previous get 2 extra A imports.
That'd be kind of spicy. That'd be kind of nice. That'd be interesting. It would definitely help. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It would definitely help. I think you get 2 American import receivers, and you got your quarterback, and you get American D linemen, American linebacker, and an American DB. I think that sets you up pretty good, for sure. That would be interesting. I would love to see how that plays out, to be honest. I think that could definitely help a lot of teams for sure. But at the end of the day, it comes down to like those organizations, like, are they able to withhold 6 Americans? Because even Roclaw, they're on QB5 already. It's like you're seeing like the turnover is like so crazy, like in this league. It's I think that's another thing too. Like if you could keep a lot of the guys in the same spots, or at least like keep the same guys for the whole year, I think that would help a lot too. But as a fan, it's like if you like want to get behind a team and like every 3 weeks you get a new quarterback or a new American receiver,
it's hard to jump on. Yeah,
it's hard to follow. It's hard to keep engaged with, that kind of thing. So that could be definitely something as well.
Yeah. Why the Panthers got rid of Duncan week 3 or whatever it was is still beyond me, but whole different subject.
I have no idea, man. I have no idea. It's a QB carousel out here, man. It really is.
Seriously.
Confirming the conspiracies. I like it. Thank you.
Carousel, man. It's tough to see, bro. I mean, you see, like, obviously playing the quarterback position, like, you, like, compete against other good quarterbacks. You, like, seeing other guys have success as well. So it's tough, you see guys, because it's not an easy task to just come into an organization, fly in on Tuesday, and then you got to go play the Vienna Vikings on Saturday or Sunday. Mm-hmm. You have 4 days to prepare with the team that you don't know anybody, you don't know the plays, you don't know anything like that. To go do that, like, it's
a language barrier with a lot of stuff too.
Like that is a tall task to ask of anybody, especially at the quarterback position. And then it's like, all right, that doesn't do so great. You give them 1 more week, and then it doesn't work out. Then you ship them off. It's like, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough.
It's brutal.
Are there? Sorry, let me ask it this way: does your offense, are they majority English speakers as well? Like, can most of them? Okay.
Yeah, it for the most part, pretty much everybody on our team pretty much speaks English to at least some degree. Mm-hmm. And our coaching staff, our head coach is American. Right. Our offensive coordinators both speak English. Everybody on offense pretty much a primary English speaking coach. We do have like assistant coaches that are French guys that can help translate as well. They speak both. So, like, if anything does become an issue, like, those guys can always translate for those guys as well. Yeah.
Nice. So, we have a couple questions left, and these ones are just the fun ones. Yeah. But, so, as you may have seen, I'm building all the ELF teams in CFB 25.
Hell yeah.
And we're teaming up with Matt Bresington, one of the other ELF guys, to get all the rosters and ratings correct.
Right.
So what do you think your overall should be in CFB 25?
What's crazy is, so, I was saying we're all living in like this little village or whatever. So I was at one of the guys' cribs the other day, and they were playing, and it was like Paris versus Swarco or some shit like that. Because we're all like, you guys have totally taken over the ELF in terms of this. Like, every team is downloading this shit. Everybody's playing with each other.
It's great.
When you guys get the rosters in there, like, it's gonna go crazy. It's gonna go crazy. But I was talking to somebody. They were like, "What do you think your rating's gonna be?" And Austin, of course, is like, "Man, your speed's probably gonna be like a 65." I was like, "Come on, bro, don't do me like that. Don't do me like that." I don't know, man. I don't know. All I'm saying is, I'm gonna let the stats. Men and women lie, stats don't lie. So take that as you may. Take that as you may. Don't forget the Russian stats.
Yeah.
Don't forget the, that little aspect. All right. I'm just saying.
Matt digs deep into all things.
All right.
What's your 40 time? He looks into 40 time.
What's my 40 time?
Yeah. What's your 40?
Like a 4.3, something like that.
I'll tell Matt it's a 4.3. That's fine.
Right.
What do you want me to tell him your bench press?
4.3. I want to be Madden 04 Michael Vick.
Okay. Yeah. So, best character in any Madden.
Yeah, that's what I want to be in this NCAA game. I want to be the cheat code, the ELF NCAA cheat code. That's the goal.
Yeah. I will say Aiken already said he has to be the fastest quarterback, so we can, if he's like a 96 speed, we'll put you like a 95. Right?
Yeah, no, he's for sure faster than I am.
Not by much, but he's probably faster than me. Who else is kind of fast?
There's
Isaiah
probably-
Weed's kind of fast.
Yeah, I
Isaiah
forgot
Weed
about
might have
Isaiah
me on the
Weed.
speed.
What other quarterbacks are that quick? There's not. That's a good question. I'm blanking
Yeah, I
on
would
the
say
quarterbacks.
I would say Aiken and Weed got me, but I would say I'd be probably around 3.
All right, we'll make sure of
Fair
that.
enough.
All right, cool. Appreciate you guys.
We got you.
Well, they got you. I still haven't downloaded the game yet. So,
Just wait till the rosters get updated.
well, my wife's going on a girls' camping trip this weekend. So I'm like, ooh, college football? Yeah.
Perfect.
ELF football.
ELF football. There we go. Yeah.
Ooh,
So-
wait, hold on. Nikosi Perry.
Oh,
Pretty quick too. Damn it. Yeah, he is good. He's quick too. All right, I'll take 4. I'll take 4.
All
I'll
right.
take 4. Those guys are fast.
what about? No, I'm kidding.
John Mangle.
No, I got John.
No, yeah.
So, last question for you. Again, just one of the more fun ones. But if you could take any NFL player and put them on the Musketeers, who would it be? And we're not talking a import stuff does not apply. You literally just pluck somebody and drop them onto your team.
Do they have to be current?
Could be like an
No,
NFL.
it can be whoever you want.
Do both.
All right.
If you're going previous, do both.
Okay. Well, I'll give you my previous one because this was probably my all-time favorite player growing up. I would definitely put Adrian Peterson by my prime AP
Prime AP. Ooh.
by my side.
In the backfield. I
That's a
loved
good
AP
pick.
growing up. Huge
It benefits
Minnesota
you,
Vikings
you know.
fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge Adrian Peterson fan growing up. He was my guy. So he would definitely be the previous one. In terms of current, I don't want to pick another Viking, but like Justin Jefferson
Yeah.
would be sick to have. But let's do some more creative. I think who else would be cool to have on the team? I think who's another receiver that would be sick? I think Tyreek Hill would be a sick one to have. Austin and Tyreek. I mean, that'd be pretty dangerous.
Crazy.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say
I think it'd be cool to have like Travis Kelce on the team too, just a big tight end. You know, somebody that does
Travis
like that.
Kelce in the ELF would be terrifying.
yeah, it'd be awesome.
Well, yeah, especially. I mean, I feel like they let they let a little bit more contact go in the ELF, which is why I've enjoyed watching this season so much. Is like
Oh, yeah.
there have definitely been some hits where I'm like, that would have been a flag. It was a clean hit, but it would have been a flag in the NFL for sure.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
Some of these dudes, some of these hits, I'm like, that was allowed.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
There's
started
some
watching it.
generational trauma that comes out of these hits whenever people go after you.
Yeah, no, it's a physical league, man. I think a lot of
People sleep on that aspect of it, especially people I talk to back home. They're like, how is it out there? I'm like, bro, these dudes bring it. Bring it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, cool, Zach. We appreciate your time. Thank you, everyone, for listening and for watching on YouTube. Again, this has been a Fourth Down Fiasco exclusive interview with Magic Zach Edwards. Please make sure that you like this video, subscribe, and then you can also check out our podcast, which can be found on Spotify and Apple Pods. Thanks so much, everyone.